Hi everybody, and welcome to Golden Hour, show about living your best life. The other day, on one of the Facebook groups I belong to, a woman asked why she always attracts men who are narcissists. And another woman asked the same question, and I thought this would be a great time to discuss that. If you'd like to learn 3 ways to spot a narcissist and the 5 things the narcissist is looking for in a potential mark, keep watching. So first, I'd like to give you a little bit of history of the word narcissist. The term originates from Greek mythology, in which a young narcissist fell in love with his own reflected image in a pool of water. And so we get the term narcissist. Now, what is a narcissist? Well, first of all, it should be noted that the majority of narcissists are men. I'm speculating here as to why. I think it's because over the years, women are the nurturers and men look more towards women for support and admiration. But that's just speculation on my part. There are definitely some women who are narcissists as well. So what is a narcissist? A narcissist is a person who has an inflated self-importance. They think the world revolves around them. They're the only thing that matters. It is not the same as self-love. Healthy self-love is good. This is an inflated self. This is way up here. It's really inflated self-importance. So, what are some things to look for when you're out there in the dating world, or even if you're looking to go to work for somebody and you suspect your boss may be a narcissist? Here are some ways to tell if the person that you're getting involved with is a narcissist. The first way to identify a narcissist is to pay attention to the words they use. Narcissists tend to use very, very complimentary words or very, very derogatory words, and they use them in a comparative way. They may say to you, "You are the very best thing I have ever met," compared to all those terrible women I met before. Because everybody they met was terrible, and you're just this wonderful thing. Or they may tell you that they're going to treat you so incredibly wonderful, so much better than anyone else has treated you. And they're going to talk about your exes. That guy you were dating was a loser. So it's always a basis of comparison. And this is going to come back to haunt you later on. Well, they'll compare you to someone else. They may talk about the people they work with and say they're the dumbest people they ever met, or their boss is the stupidest person they ever met, for not seeing how wonderful they are. They may tell you that, they auditioned for something and they didn't get the part and they should have, because they were the best person for the part compared to all those other terrible actors. They are always the best person and everyone else is garbage. This is the narcissist. They have an inflated sense of self, but they are very charming people. So it's very hard to read this. You have to be very discerning. So look for a person that's very, very complimentary in the beginning, overly complimentary. They look for what you are insecure about. If you're insecure about your looks, they're going to go overboard telling you how gorgeous you are. If you're insecure about what you do for a living, they're going to build you up. But that's only in the beginning. It will quickly turn. And those compliments will turn backhanded, and they might at some point be downright insults. So you have to really, really read that well. A lot of the words they use lack empathy or interest. For example, if something happens to you that's exciting that you want to share with a narcissist, right away they'll chime in and tell you what wonderful thing happened to them. If you want to tell them about something sad that happened to you, they are going to one-up you. Because your story doesn't matter. It's all about them, always all about them. And you are just a means to an end. You are just the life force. Consider the narcissist a parasite and you're the host. And basically all they're trying to do is suck all the admiration for them that you can give out. And when you no longer see them that way, they will discard you. Although the narcissist does see themselves as superior, they also play the victim role really well. It's everyone else's fault that they didn't achieve success. It is never their own fault. If a marriage fails and you're married to a narcissist, it's all your fault. They never have any blame in anything. Okay? It's because you didn't support them well enough. It's because you didn't make the right phone calls that they needed you to make. It's because you kept them up at night when they needed to sleep before the big interview. It will always be someone else's fault why the narcissist doesn't succeed. All of what I just said is fact. I'm going to throw a little speculation in there. I suspect that deep down the narcissist is a very hurt person who's experienced neglect or some traumatic event. Maybe they were born this way, but I think deep down possibly this person is a very insecure person, and thus the delusions of grandeur and the self-importance. But again, I'm not a therapist. That's speculation on my part. The other stuff is fact, based on research and based on dealing with a couple of narcissists in my life. The second thing you want to look for when you're dealing with a narcissist is how do you feel around that person, okay? Do you feel that that person is too good to be true? Because usually when things are too good to be true, they are. Remember, this narcissist is a master manipulator. They are charming. Everyone likes this narcissist, okay? Until they get to know them. They may treat everyone out in public wonderful and take everything out on you because you're the problem. But then when they get back home, they'll tell you how everyone else was the problem. Do you feel drained when you're around this person, or like you can't breathe because everything is always focused on them? I've gone out with a couple in the past, nothing recent. Every time we went somewhere or went shopping somewhere, we always went to the section he wanted to go to. We always went when he wanted to go, the time that was comfortable for him. It was always about him. And real quickly, I learned that this is a pattern that they have, and you need to get out. It's hard to do because they entwine you in their whole life. They get you involved with their families. They really get in your head. And so now I've learned to identify one, and usually they show their true colors within the first couple of months, and you can get yourself out. The third thing you want to look for that will clue you into the fact that you're dealing with a narcissist is to pay attention to what they do, not what they say. Remember, they're smooth talkers, they're charmers. So they may move really quickly to try to tell you they're going to take you places. They can't wait to take you on vacation. They want to spend time with you. You're going to meet the family. But these things usually don't come to fruition. Remember, they're just building this. They're building this story for you. You want to pay attention to, do they disregard your feelings? Do they show up late for dates? Do they cancel dates? Do they miss phone calls and texts? And then when you call them on it, do they turn it around and blame you? Do you start to feel like, hey, maybe I am being too demanding. Maybe this is my fault. That is a real telltale sign that you're dealing with a narcissist. Total disregard for your feelings. And when you call them on it, you're the wrong person. Now, what do narcissists look for in their target? You may think they look for very weak people, people that can be easily manipulated, when in fact, research has shown that they look for very smart people, very strong people, people that are intelligent, that seemingly have their life together, because it's a big challenge for them. If they can break you, it lifts them up. Look what they accomplished. They broke you, right? Here's 5 things that a narcissist looks for in their mark. The first thing they look for is conscientiousness. They know that a conscientious person cares about other people, will go that extra mile. And if the person's conscientious, then they're less likely to bail on the narcissist. They'll give that relationship their all. They'll give that narcissist several chances. And this is what that person needs. The conscientious person will put the narcissist's needs above his or her own. And that's what they're banking on. The second thing is they're looking for someone with a lot of empathy. The narcissist is not empathetic, but they look for that person. They need the empathetic person because they need the understanding. They need the admiration. They need the person the bleeding heart that could put themselves in your shoes and feel badly for you and work with you and try to help you. They feed on that. That gives them fuel. Remember, you're their life force. The third thing they look for in a target is someone with integrity. Because someone with integrity is not going to cheat. They're not going to stray. They're going to stay with the narcissist and try to work it out. The narcissist is a morally bankrupt person, but they want someone with integrity. They'll cheat, they'll do all these bad things, but they need you around. They need you, they need to exploit you. Remember, I bring it back to the parasitic host relationship because that's exactly what it is. The fourth thing that the narcissist looks for is someone resilient. A lot of times they go to people that have been abused in their life, that come from an abusive history, because they know that person is resilient and has been through a lot and has a very high tolerance of emotional and physical pain and won't leave easily, and they're banking on it. The fifth thing that a narcissist looks for is a person that has a high level of sentimentality, someone who loves deeply, who wears their heart on their sleeve. They will use love and flattery to groom you. The term is called love bombing. Oh, they'll come in strong with all the feelings of how much they love you, and they'll do it really quickly to really win you over. So you have to really be careful of that when you're dealing with this type of a person. Now, there are people who fall in love quickly who are not narcissists. This is a totally different thing. You need to look for all of these signs. But what this person does is when you're done with you, they will leave you just like that with no contact, no ending. It's just when they're done, they go. So you need to be careful of this. Also, you must note that a narcissist never truly gives you away. They may fade away, but they always come back. And then they tend to hold on to several of these people in their life or wherever they need to tap some energy or some admiration and some life force from you. Think of it maybe as somebody who is a very anxious person and keeps treats around the house in little different places of the house. When they need them, they can pull from them. Or a smoker who hides cigarettes. That's what the narcissist does. They keep little pockets of friends and exes so that they can get them back to get that little feed, that little life force that they need when they don't have a victim or they don't have a mark. So they're very dangerous because they are so charming. And, you know, they're sociopathic. You probably are dealing with narcissists every day, but if you really want to protect yourself from them, really look at actions. Really study the people, see how they deal with people, listen to their words, see how they talk about other people. Is everything negative other than you? And just really be careful out there, because the way a narcissist leaves you is you just feel totally empty. And you may question what it is you did wrong, but rest assured, you did nothing wrong. This is them. This is a broken person who just feeds on loving individuals. And they're capable of really doing some damage out there. So be careful out there in the world. Don't go to work for one. Don't get involved with one. So to answer the question, why might you attract the narcissist? Well, because maybe you're just a genuinely nice person who they feel they can play and drain a life force from and get all the compliments they need. Or maybe you're drawn to the narcissist out of some sense of wanting to help others, to inflate your own ego. Or maybe you're dating potential and you think you could change this narcissist, but you can't. It runs much deeper than that. It's a personality disorder. So these are some of the reasons you may be drawn to the narcissist and why the narcissist is drawn to you. It's a very, very codependent relationship where both parties are getting something out of it. It may be negative, but both parties are getting something out of it or they wouldn't be drawn to each other. So how can you avoid that? Well, you need to raise your vibrational energy so that you don't attract that into your life. When you are a whole person and you're not needy and you don't need to fill that void, you will draw another whole person into your life. And if this episode helped you in any way, click like, share, comment below, and I'll see you Thursday with my next episode of Touch Base Thursday. Have a wonderful day and go get your shine on.